What's up, fight fans? I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries, and this is Cage Side Seat on MMA Weekly. Every week, I'm going to bring you up close and personal with a UFC superstar. You're going to get to know them on a personal level. You're going to get to know them on an intimate level, and you are going to be inspired by their stories and their journeys through this sport. That's what we're here for every single week. It's Cage Side Seat on MMA Weekly, and man, am I pumped right now with UFC Fight Night Vegas, number 26 this weekend. It's Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and you couldn't write the script any better if it came straight out of Hollywood. I'll tell you what, my girl, the mom champ, Michelle Waterson, headlining against Marina Rodriguez, number 9 Michelle, number 6 Marina Rodriguez at UFC Fight Night this weekend on Mother's Day weekend. Michelle, what an awesome week for you. What an awesome opportunity for you. Your 4th headlining fight in the UFC on Mother's Day weekend. It's the mom champ. I said it, Hollywood couldn't have written it any better.
Yeah, everything honestly seemed to just fall into place the way it needed to, honestly. This year has been such a roller coaster of up and downs, and I really had to become an anchor, for myself so that I could be there for my family. And it really has kind of like pushed us to the other side, and has given me a newfound appreciation for life, really.
Man, Michelle, it's so awesome to hear you say that. You look great, by the way, with the bangs, and I want to tell you what, this is exciting for me because you know how I feel about you guys. You guys are family to me, and I know it hasn't been the easiest thing for any of us, but for you, you've dealt with the same things we have throughout COVID. So when you look at the training, when you look at the things you've had to do, you built something in your house, when you look at all the places you've been, and you've fought twice in the pandemic, but you've also opened a restaurant, you've also had to do all the stuff to keep your sponsors happy in a tough time, and you've only fought twice. So it's crazy when I look at it. You're a mom, you have a little girl, Araya, shout out to Araya, and a family too. So I'm just wondering what you guys did and how you were able to keep it all together during this whole time with COVID.
I think that the most important thing to remember when there is chaos is that there are things that are outside of your control that you can choose to stress about, but it's not going to do you any good. There are circumstances that you can't control, and so spending your time giving your energy to those circumstances is only going to stress you out. And in a world where we're bombarded with negative catchphrases and negative media constantly being pushed down your throat, even involuntarily, you really have to make a conscious effort to clear your own mind and be your own warrior, be your own fighter, and fight for a life full of joy and love and gratefulness. I think that's the bottom line. There are circumstances that are going to happen in our lives, regardless if it's COVID, if it's personal issue, if it's career change. That's life. Honestly, like if you go through life free of any type of adversity, free of any type of then honestly, I don't think you've lived. You have to dust your shoulders off, get back on the horse, step up to the plate and swing, fight for what you want in life.
Always camera ready, the Karate Hottie, Michelle Waterson, headlining UFC Fight Night Vegas 26 this weekend against Marina Rodriguez. Michelle, the underdog in this fight. And Michelle, you talked about adjusting and moving forward and the things you've had to do during COVID. You fought twice during this time. I mentioned you built a gym in your house. You trained with Josh. Luckily, your husband's a military boxing champion, but you have a lot of friends and you were able to do things at Jackson Wink, but especially in New Mexico with you guys being shut down the way you were. But in that time, you did fight twice. You fought Carlo Esparza. I thought you won that fight, obviously, in Jacksonville when the UFC first came back, and then Angela Hill in a tough one back in September. And even when you look at her record, man, it's just crazy because a lot of decision losses by split decision for her, and it was a tough one for you. But your division, top to bottom, Amanda and Valentina are running out of people to fight at 35 and 25. They might not have anybody left right now. Not the case, though, at 115. Even though this fight's at 125, you're both 115 fighters, and here you are, highly ranked, both in the top 10. But this division, Michelle, is just crazy. The deepest division by far on the women's side. You being a former atomweight champ at Invicta, it's just loaded top to bottom.
Yeah, no, I mean, I tell people this all the time, and I'm sure I'm biased, but I think that the strawweight division is the most stacked division in the female roster. Every single girl from top to bottom, is highly technical and very versed in pretty much all the different martial arts in order to be a full MMA fighter. And like I was saying, earlier in some of my interviews, the belt is constantly rotating, and that just goes to show you how good every single girl in the division is. On any given day, any one of us girls can be the champ.
Still trying to imagine what it was like in Jacksonville when you guys first came back and everything was just so touch and go. And I've talked to Henry Cejudo about it. Just a crazy feeling and a unique experience for sure for all of you. But one of the highlights of my year was when I was in Vegas for the whole month of August into early September. Just missed your fight, unfortunately, against Angela Hill, Michelle. But I said I'm not leaving until I interview Dana White. And the end of the month came. He actually requested an interview with me after just me, hey, visualizing it. Just like you, the mom champ. Hey, visualization, manifestation, all those things. It happens, right? Our thoughts, we become our thoughts. It's true. It's real. And you know this, right? And I hope you know this if you're watching, because it's the truth. And there's nothing you can't do. But I said I'm not leaving until I interview Dana. He ended up requesting an interview with me. He's like, who the fuck is this guy with these jackets and these shirts standing 5 feet away from me? I need to talk to this guy. So I'm standing there waiting for Dana to come, and I'm going, this is going to be the greatest interview I've ever done. And I asked him specifically questions about inspiration and making his way through the pandemic, and how much did it help him building the company along the way to $4.2 billion in 2016, and the buyouts and the ESPN deals and all the things that he had to do, the New York situation, to get the UFC to where it was. And his answer was simple, and how much it helped him during the pandemic when he had to do all that and go through the apex. He was going to build, housing on site for you guys. And I said, hey, why not stop? Why stop there? Why not have a hospital? And he just kind of laughed. But the thing that stood out the most to me in that interview was your boss, Dana White. Without him, none of us would be here. Joe Rogan's right every way in, right? But he said there is no no. Actually, he's Dana, so he said there is no fucking no. There's no such thing as fucking no. You find a way, you get it done. There are no options other than finding a way to get it done. And you guys did it. The UFC did it. Think about that, Michelle. First one back last year, first one back this year in the world of sports as far as organizations go. First one back with the fans. Just an unbelievable feeling for you, I would imagine, to work for a man and an organization like this, leading the way, not only for the sports world, but for all of us as a society, if you think about it. It's an incredible story, and there's got to be, I think, a movie about it even one day. What a great feeling, though, for you to be in an organization like this.
Man, absolutely. That is a warrior's mentality. And whether it's, it's so funny that he said that, because the people that, that I look up to, the mentors that I have in my life, they all have that mentality. Tony Robbins, I reached out to him right before, I took the fight, or right after I took the fight. And it was, he said the same thing, basically in different words. Basically, find a way to win the fight. If you can't find a way, make a way. That's a warrior's mentality. You know what I mean? That's a champion mentality.
Such a great analogy from Michelle Waterson, the Karate Hottie. So pumped to have you here, girl, on MMA Weekly, the most trusted source in news and entertainment and MMA for almost 20 years with me in Cage Side Seat. Really pumped to be with them and love working with you and working with Josh. So I appreciate you being the first guest on my new series, Cage Side Seat on MMA Weekly, Michelle. And, you talk about that mentality to get through those fights, those 5-round wars against Joanna, against Angela Hill. And I talked about her a minute ago. That last win for you in September, her losses are by split decision. You look at the record and you go, wow, this girl has had a tough go of it, but she's fought the best in the world. You've fought the best in the world. Every time out, you're fighting the best in the world. What an opportunity for you day in and day out to train to face the best and then to get to compete against the best. And here you are headlining on Mother's Day weekend, UFC Fight Night in Vegas, against Marina Rodriguez. You were supposed to fight Amanda Hebus. She comes in and replaces you and beats her, so now you're fighting her. Funny how that works, Michelle, but just an awesome, awesome opportunity for you and a great chance here headlining this event. But one of the things you did to get ready for it, and you're used to 5-rounders, it's your 4th headlining fight, but man, I'll tell you what, I know who David Goggins is. I'm in that world. I MC and I introduce inspirational speakers to the stage. 100-mile marathon, this guy runs the last 25 on 2 broken legs, peeing and pooping himself. You and Josh decide to go and do his event, his 4x4x48. Man, that's a crazy, psychotic thing to do. So tell everybody what that's all about, Michelle. 4x4x48, and you guys finished it too.
Yeah, exactly what you said. 4x4x48. Just saying it kind of brings me back. It's 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. There was no training behind it. I do run for fight camps, but it's nothing ever like that. You know, all my runs are short and explosive, so that it's tailored to an MMA fight. You know, the most I've ever ran really is like 5 miles, and that's because I'm just trying to clear my mind and have more of a meditative run. But 4 miles there, 40 hours, 48 miles in 48 hours basically. And for sure, it kicked my butt physically, but more so than that, it was that mental push, because you get halfway through it and you want to be done.
Yeah.
But at that point, it's like, I already did half of it. Why would I stop now? You know what I mean? And that's kind of how life is. I think that more of us need to embrace the suck. And that's what David Goggins is all about. You know, get hard, stay hard is, you know, kind of his mentality. And it's kind of like, you have to harden yourself in order to combat the things that life is going to throw at you.
Giving me goosebumps talking about that, Michelle. Life doesn't get easier. We need to get harder. We need to get tougher. We need to get stronger. We need to get better. And here you are heading into a 5-round battle against a great up-and-coming fighter in Marina Rodriguez. She's number 6 at 115. You're number 9. You got something to prove. You know, hey, you feel like you should be ranked above her, and you feel like you're a better fighter than her, and she's just making her way up. So there's a message to be sent there. But when I think about what you just said, getting ready for a 5-round fight, and you've done this, of course, before, after you do the 4x4x48, the cardio is definitely not going to be a problem. So the last minute, you know, replacement when the main event fell off, and here you girls are, not a big deal for you, but I was surprised a little bit that it's happening at 125, because I feel like you could have made the weight no problem. So I'm just wondering what the deal was there.
I mean, if they needed me to cut the weight, I would, but it just seemed like it was an issue for her, being so short notice. And it was kind of one of those take it or leave it type things. If I didn't take it, I'm sure somebody else would have, and I wanted to be the one to capitalize on the opportunity. And as far as, you know, it being at 125, I feel good. I feel strong. It's crazy. I'm working with my my training partners and my coaches, and you know, they're having to pull me back. They're having to pull the reins on me because I feel strong. I feel explosive, and, you know, and I'm going. I have energy to go.
Maybe it's that mom strength. We talk about that all the time in my house. There's a strength that we all have as humans, but then there's mom strength. And I know that mom strength can be superhuman sometimes, without a doubt. Karate Hottie Michelle Waterson, the mom champ, headlining on Mother's Day weekend in Vegas. UFC Fight Night Vegas 26, Michelle against Marina Rodriguez. But I just want you to put into words what that feels like for you, because this is your image. This is your persona. You've been the mom champ. That's what you've been calling yourself for a long time. And here you are headlining on Mother's Day weekend. That doesn't happen by accident, Michelle. You manifested this. Thoughts become, you know, what we do in life. So you manifested this. It came to be because of that. But I just want to get your thoughts, representing, of course, moms everywhere. Such a great role model for the kids. How much does all this mean to you this weekend to headline on Mother's Day?
It is. It's great, you know, and I pull so much motivation from mothers all around the world, because I just feel like they are, you know, the silent heroes. They don't do it for the recognition, for the claps, for the they do it because that's their job. They do it because they're mommy, you know, and it has to get done. And I think that the message that I kind of am just trying to spread is to not forget about yourself. You know, when you have your own goals and ambitions, when you work on those and see them through, even if they do take longer than you would have expected, because you are a mother and because you are juggling 10 different things all at once. Once you do accomplish those goals that you set out for yourself, you're going to be that much more proud of yourselves. Your kids are going to be that much more proud of yourselves. And I do believe that, you know, our children learn the most from our actions. You know, so if we tell our children not to give up on their dreams, if we tell our children to not let anything get in the way of what you want, then we have to do what we say.
Some great parenting advice from the mom champ, the Karate Hottie, headlining this weekend, UFC Fight Night Vegas 26. Hard to believe it's been 26 already, but what a year it's been for the UFC. And by year, I don't mean since New Year's. I mean year overall, a little over a year now since the shutdown. And for Michelle Waterson, fighting twice during the pandemic, and now it's number 3 against Marina Rodriguez this weekend, Michelle. And you're a tough girl. She's a tough girl. This is a high level fight. You're fighting at 125, but here you are headlining, and you're going to need all that toughness, all that grit, and all that strength against a very tough opponent in Rodriguez. Tell us what you expect to see from her and what we can expect to see from you in this fight.
It is a tough fight, but at this point in my career, every single fight is going to be a tough fight. You know what I mean? I feel like I've probably had three fights in the UFC that could have been championship fights. And so it's nothing I haven't seen before. I've been in there with the best of the best in the division, and with all that being said, I'm not looking past Marina. I know what she has to bring. I know her strength. I know that she's heavy-handed, that she leads with her right, that she has a good clinch game, that she's able to keep her range with her teeps. But I do believe that stylistically I match up well with it. My stand-up is more creative than hers. I have more diversity in my stand-up. I'm able to mix in my wrestling. I'm able to utilize my wrestling to take the fight to the ground if I want to. And I think with me having experience going 5 rounds, this will be my 4th UFC main event. Training at altitude, all these things are going to be in my advantage.
Keys to victory for the Karate Hottie, Michelle Waterson, headlining UFC Fight Night Vegas 26 against Marina Rodriguez at 125 pounds. Both of them, of course, 115-pounders, and they're moving up because it's a short notice fight to take the place of the main event that dropped off when TJ Dillashaw got the cut, getting ready for his return against the Sandman, Corey Sandhagen, which, of course, will take place later on down the line. But, Michelle, with all these opportunities, you said it's your 4th headlining fight in the UFC. With these opportunities, right, come other opportunities. Opportunities from sponsors, opportunities outside of the octagon. As an entrepreneur, you're taking full advantage of that, not only with your companies like Body Armor, like On It, you have the RV, you got the meats, you got all those things. You have all these things with your own brand that you're doing, and you're opening 2 more restaurants. You opened a taco shop during the pandemic in Albuquerque, Taco 10, down at the Bridges, and now you got 2 other concepts opening this year. Can you talk about all that as you're juggling it with your fighting and just making yourself such an entity on the business side, and you and Josh creating that life and that legacy together? And as you move forward, you only have a few fights left. You've said it yourself, becoming a businesswoman, the brand of Michelle Waterson, the Karate Hottie, the entrepreneurial side. Just take us through all that and what that's like for you with all this at the same time.
It's so exciting. It really is, to kind of see the process of it come from just a concept, and then it come to life, and it be reality, and it being received well in the pandemic. It was something that we were really scared of, about something, what we realized is, if we can get through this winter, if we can get through this dark season, then nothing else is going to phase us, and we're just going to be able to, skyrocket from there. And that's exactly what we've done. We've kind of figured out a way to still be successful during the pandemic, and a lot of it is a credit to our incredible chef. It's a credit to our ability to adapt and overcome. It's a credit to our community who's been there to support us.
If there's one thing I know for sure in life, Michelle Waterson, you can never, ever go wrong with tacos. But you're not doing more taco restaurants. You're doing other concepts. What are the other 2 concepts going to be?
We aren't. It's going to be in the same complex at the Bridges in Albuquerque, and one is going to be a health cafe, and so we're really excited about that. It's a really active neighborhood where we're at, and so we want to offer our active neighbors a place to come where it's convenient, it's healthy, and it's good. So we're gonna have smoothies, we're gonna have protein bowls, we're gonna have energizing, refreshing drinks that are good for you. And then we're also gonna have a Thai restaurant. So really excited about that, trying to bring the Thai culture into that little neck of the woods, and more so the street vibe, kind of like that urban, like street vibe. Come grab your food, you can smell it walking down the street, and it just entices you in.
All right, so I know where I'm eating when I go to Albuquerque for our next event together, Michelle. I mean, you got it all covered now. I'm not going to be anywhere else. I'm in the cocoon of the Gomez-Waterson restaurant group here. I'm not going to have anywhere else to go. I'm going to be yours the whole time on the food side.
Exactly. You're going to have to, go boop, 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 one each day.
And with me, it's got to be healthy now. You saw me last year, Michelle, getting in the best shape of my life, lifting and boxing every single day, and using the pandemic to my advantage to, just turn it around and not fall the other way. And I know you guys did that too. So I'm excited to get out there and work out, hit some pads with you guys, and really have some fun. But it's a great weekend for you. Michelle Waterson, the Karate Hottie, the mom champ, headlining UFC Fight Night in Vegas on Mother's Day weekend against Marina Rodriguez, a big-time fight in the UFC strawweight division. Michelle's number 9, Marina's number 6. Michelle, last thing, always do it, millions and millions. of the Karate Hotties fans watching right now worldwide. What do you want to say to them right now?
Well, we're talking about it being Mother's Day, and we're talking about being passionate parents. And I think that it's kind of like an underlying issue that a lot of people, don't see is what our kids are having to deal with COVID and being locked up and then not being able to get out and stuff like that. I don't know if we really see the impact it's going to have long term for our children, but I think you need to take the time to understand that our children are our future. We need to equip them with the right knowledge. We need to equip them with the right tools in order to combat any type of adversity. And so I think that teaching them first and foremost about their health, about their bodies, to understand their bodies and to be in sync with their bodies, having them know, that our body is linked to our brain, and that we need to get out and get moving and get, the blood pumping through our veins. And just creating, our kids are missing that social aspect of life. You need to give it to them. You need to interact with your children. You need to have play dates with your children. You need to have, I would say get out, get active with your children. And, if you can't get out, have, game night, do things with your children, create that connection. You can take like you did, you got in the best shape of your life for COVID. You can take, a bad experience and turn to a good experience. You can take the fact that we're all quarantined and turn it into the time that I got to really know who my kid is. You know what I mean? And the time that they got to really know who I was. And allow it to make your bond stronger.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And when I talk about I'm coming out and I'm hitting pads with you guys, I'm working out, I told Josh I'm coming for him, not to fight him. He's a military boxing champion, but hit some pads with him, have some fun, let him tell me what I got or what I don't got. And I know I'm butchering the English language on top of it, but it just excites me, man. I'm coming out there. I'm going to be able to work out with fighters and have some fun. And I'm just pumped for that, to get back out and do some things too. It's great.
All right.
There she is, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Karate Hottie, the mom champ, Michelle Waterson. Really appreciate the time, Michelle. So awesome catching up to you so close to the fight. Headlining this week, UFC Fight Night Vegas 26 against Marina Rodriguez on Mother's Day weekend. You've been calling yourself the mom champ forever. Who says that every dream doesn't come true? Who says you can't manifest your destiny? Michelle, go out there, kick some butt, enjoy this weekend, and have the greatest Mother's Day ever with your family. What a great time for you. Go get it, girl.
I will.
I know, you got this, girl. Thank you so much, Michelle. The Karate Hottie, the mom champ, Michelle Waterson, headlining on Mother's Day weekend. I can't say that enough times. UFC Fight Night Vegas 26 against Marina Rodriguez. Big time fight. 2 top 10 girls in the strawweight division fighting at flyweight on less than a week's notice as a main event. What an opportunity. The 4th time Michelle will headline a UFC fight card. Cowboy Cerrone's the co-main. Diego Sanchez, with all that drama, fell off. Alex Morano stepping in. Jeff Neal and Neil Magny at 170 on this card as well. Jeff Kane and I will be live on MMA Weekly during the fights. Make sure you're right here on our YouTube for that. But man, I will tell you what, I am so pumped for this weekend. And then you got the big pay-per-view, of course, coming up next week with the title fight, Chandler and Oliveira at 155 for the belt that is vacated by Khabib Nurmagomedov. Man, I am so pumped. Guys, I can't contain myself. Thank you so much for being here for this first edition of Cage Side Seat on MMA Weekly, bringing back the series, bringing you up close and personal interviews with the biggest stars in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, maybe occasionally a Bellator fighter or two, but it is absolutely enthralling for me to be here with you guys and doing this series. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. Thanks to Michelle Waterson. Thanks to Josh Gomez, her husband and manager, and everyone at the UFC. Of course, all of you. Until next time, MMA fans, keep your game tight and your mind right. I'm Gries, and I am out.